Hi guys, so this video I'm going to show you how to lay a foundation for a dry stone wall and how to prepare the ground before you do that. So the first thing you've got to do is to make sure you're building on some solid ground. So that involves taking off any soil or organic matter or any like soft shale and digging that out to make sure you're on some good hard ground. This ground is hard anyway, but there's a bit of stuff that needs digging off. So yeah, I'll get that dug out and then we can go through everything else involved. Now I'm going to show you how to lay the foundation and use the string. Right, so we're about ready to start walling now and putting the foundations in. What I'm about to show you is probably the most valuable piece of information you need to wall. So I'm going to show you how to effectively use the string in relation to the frame. So when you start, you're going to pick up a stone. So I'll slide this one back and put it in. Now, depending on where I am, whether I'm stood out there and I put it in or stood in here, and I look between the string and the stone. If I'm here looking at the string, it sort of stone looks like it wants to be out there. Or if I was stood out there, maybe it wants to come back. But the way to make sure that your stone is in line with your frame and is within the batter of the wall is I'm going to line the string up with the stone and the inside of the bar there. So I'm closing one eye, looking down the string and lining that string up with the inside of the bar. And then as I'm doing that, I'm moving the stone so that it sits, so that the face of the stone sits within that. If you're using irregular stone that's going up and down, you can have your string above where you're working, sight down it, and you know it's right. And also, if you're working with somebody else and you're on two different courses, you can just keep using the one string, and you know you're going to be right all the time. So if you were going to like learn anything at the start, it is how to use the string. It's a very simple piece of technology, but it can make you produce really high quality work. So we'll wall the rest of this footing now, and I'll show you more about how to fit them together and how to go about doing that. So there we go. Right, so we'll put the foundation in now. So this ground, it's on a gradual incline, so going uphill that way. When you're putting a foundation in, or when you wall in general, you always work from the lowest point up. So we'll start at this bottom end and we'll work that way. And because these stones vary in thickness, I'll be putting the thicker stones at this bottom end and running them slightly thinner. And then that's gonna mean I'm getting more level then. Doesn't matter if it's perfectly level at the beginning. If you wanted to go perfectly level, you could do that. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go from the thickest to the thinnest, and then we'll see how that goes. So right, I think that's pretty much my thickest stone there. So I'll bang that in down here. And I'm taking care not to like lift things that I don't have to lift. So I'm just sliding that along the floor. It saves you back really. If you want to be economical with your energy, because there's a lot of stuff to move in a day. You might be shifting 8 tons in a day. So only lift what you have to lift. So right, I'll slide this down here. Right, I'm going to line that up. So it's a bit back at the minute. So just touch that forward. Right, not so bad at that. Right, so I've got first few footings in here. You can see what you're aiming for is the stones to be back to back. So that one's touching that one nearly, that's touching that nearly. It's going along with that same principle of lengthen. You want the stones length into the wall. And even though some of these, it's longest that way, that's still halfway into the wall. So that's classed as lengthen. And so is that. That's obviously much longer along the face, but it's a massive stone and it's halfway in. So you can't really beat that. These are fairly square stones, so they're just back to back. And we've got some nice irregular shaped ones here. And yeah, what we are aiming for is for the internal joints to follow one another. So that's following that stone's following that. Most of the hammering I do when I'm walling is to try and tighten up that inside, because that is where the strength of a wall is. It's all on the inside. You can have a really nice looking wall that's really weak on the inside, that's all traced. But if you want your wall to last hundreds of years, like, it's all about the inside and getting that length in and getting good fill in the voids. There's obviously going to be some holes when you're putting these stones in. It'll take too long to make it completely perfect. So you just want nice big bits of fill. So you're trying to fill each hole with one or maybe two stones, like little scraps like these. Do sometimes see people just like chucking stones like that in. Fill like that doesn't really have any structural value. It's just too lightweight and it's not really doing any job. You want big fill that's wedged in. You can hammer them in, get them really tight, and yeah, get it tight and filled. You'll also see that there is slight discrepancies in some of the stones. You know, they are a natural product. There are going to be like shapes that you have to get over. All you're trying to make sure you do is that you're able to place a stone on top of these next time, so I know that I'll be able to find a stone that will fit on there. Good boy. So, to sum up, what I've done, I've got all the biggest stones out that can't be used as top-ins or as throughs. I've put them length into the wall, and we've got that internal structure where the joints on the inside are following each other as best you can without going crazy with like chisels or saws or anything like that. You're just wanting that nice internal bonding. If you can get the inside of your wall to look a bit like this, then you're building it right. So thanks for watching. If you found this useful, please do like and subscribe. There'll be more videos to come when I can get around to it. So yeah, cheers guys, bloody real.